Here are 3 things that you need to include if you're doing a literature review in order to get a first class degree. I've done so many literature reviews. One of them has been published in an academic journal, and also I've had first class in all my dissertations, which is my undergraduate and master's, and I've marked many undergraduate and master's dissertations. And these are the 3 things that you need to do to make sure that you get a first class or a distinction. Number 1, make sure you are critically appraising the literature from the get-go. So even in your background, don't just leave it for the actual literature review. So many students wait until they get to the part where they are summarizing their literature in order to question the strength and validity of the literature. You need to be doing this all the way throughout. This is how you demonstrate evaluation, critical appraisal and critical evaluation from the get-go of this dissertation. Number 2, make sure you talk about what a literature review is, what its strengths and limitations are, and what type of literature review you're doing. So many people just think that there is a literature review and there's just one type, but actually there's a great paper which talks about the 14 typologies of literature reviews, which means the 14 types of literature reviews. And basically you need to talk about what type of literature review you're doing, why you've chosen that one, why it's good for your topic, and what kind of recommendations you're going to be able to make based on the type of literature review that you've chosen. This shows your lecturer that you understand that literature review is actually a research methodology which has its strengths, limitations. Whatever you're going to suggest, you're going to discuss to what extent you can actually make those suggestions based on the type of literature review you've done. And number 3, and this is by far the most important, when you are getting to the point where you're summarizing your literature, I use the word summarize just because everybody knows what that means. You're not going to be summarizing it in a narrative way unless you're doing a narrative review, which I don't recommend because it's not that useful. You're going to present it in themes. This way, it means that you're actually synthesizing all the literature rather than saying this paper said this, the next paper said that. You're attempting to do a 50-part series on how to write an amazing literature review. Shout out Reese Latisa. So make sure you follow along, follow this series, and ask any questions that you have. My email's in my bio, so feel free to email me with any questions that you have, and I'll make a video on it. Good luck.